The following program is being brought to you by Loving's Moon, Tim and Jerry's Auto Sales, Garden Bowl, American Gratitude, Patrick Dugan's Coffee House, and AAA Loans and U-Haul. Two guys who had no business being in radio decided to start their own podcast, and now they just won't shut up. Hey! A Power Surge media production. Here they are, JB Surge and Snipes, Uncaged.
Yeah, that's right. It is episode number 26 of Uncaged. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, you don't have to yell. We can all hear you.
Well, I have to be. You have to yell to make yourself heard, right?
Not necessarily. You could say
Am I loud enough yet?
You could say something erotic, and everybody will hear you.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Oh yeah. Actually, that makes me sound like I'm talking to a dog. Anyways, welcome into episode number 26. Thanks for throwing me off. What's going on?
They're saying it's echoing through the speaker. Did you put a special effect on it?
Well, there we go.
All right.
How about that?
Them poor souls.
Yeah, just
we could have made them think that their ears were screwed up.
We could have. I think we can. I mean, I do have a delay feature on here. We could make it like Stadium, like you hear it like 10 seconds later. You hear the same thing like 10 seconds later. It's pretty funny. Anyways, thanks for screwing me up there. It's episode number 26 of Uncaged. Thanks for joining us on our plethora of platforms: Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, TuneIn, and of course live here at Loving's Moon every Thursday night. Except next week. Next week we won't have a show since we got some housekeeping stuff to take care of on the home front. So
yeah, we are making our trek with our weapons.
Oh, is that right?
No, I was just saying that.
No,
because the government's listening.
Plus, there's going to be a lot going on next weekend for both of us.
Yes.
Separate things like I mean, we got a wedding. I got a wedding to do. So, and of course, you can't join us there because it is obviously a private event, and you can only get in by invitation only.
I bet they could show up,
maybe,
and say, "Yeah, I'm with the fam."
The fam.
And and drink and
okay, yeah.
do your thing.
But anyways, that and you'll be in Tucson looking at airplanes, huh?
I'll be Tucson, Arizona. 400 airplanes over 80 acres.
That'll be fun.
That's just
for
a pilot. That's like I just may not wear clothes just because I'll be so excited.
And you're gone. So. I'll just toss you right off there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what's coming up. No episode next week. So episode number 27 will actually be in April.
April
1st.
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day. So.
Perfect for Raw and Uncut.
There you go. That'll be perfect. But anyways, yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, I think the big news this week was the stimulus checks, of course, coming in for people who have already had their bank information. I'm pretty sure everyone's gotten their stimulus, but at this point in time, if you don't have banking information with the IRS, you'll be receiving a paper check sometime within the next decade. So,
all I can say, I wasn't stimulated, not like that. I wasn't.
No.
So it wasn't that kind of money.
Oh, okay.
You know, there was several
dirty
zeros.
Money is what.
Well, there were several zeros missing.
There are several zeros missing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, 1.9 trillion, I think, divided up into
3 people.
No. I mean, divided up among the population of America. I think we were supposed to get around 5,700.
Is that all?
Isn't that what it's supposed to be? Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we kind of got ripped off.
In my honest opinion, we could have bought a new gun.
That's right. Well. Speaking of which, since you have your $1,400 stimulus and you're not sure what to do with it, whether you want to save it or put it towards debt or
buy a gun
or you can buy a gun. Believe it or not, you can get some of the. I've looked up this article earlier. There are 8 solid firearms you can get for $1,400 or for under $1,400. So,
and if you're married, you can get 2 of them because you get $2,800.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. But if you're a single guy like me, you can always look into getting. Most of these are rifles, of course, since rifles are understandably cheaper than, among the cheapest of guns you can get, like the Savage Model 110 Precision bolt action rifle. There, hunting rifle. They come chambered in popular calibers like 300 Winchester Magnum, 300 PRC.
If you're hunting people, isn't in all guns hunting rifles?
Well, yeah, for what you use it for.
That's
I
right.
guess, so.
A grenade launcher could be a hunting rifle. If
Before
you're going to blow up a lot of people at one time.
Something like that. Don't be inciting stuff. We don't want to be kicked off here, all right?
Inciting violence.
Yeah. That's Snipes' MO, inciting violence. The Bergara B14 Wilderness Ridge shotgun. How about that? Yeah. Or if you're looking for a good 15, you can get a Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 2. It's a good 556 gun you can have.
Yeah,
for about $750
with a 360 round drum,
something like that. Benelli M2 field shotgun. Yeah. The Frenchie Instinct over under.
Watch your BLM friends scatter.
Once again, inciting violence by race. This is wonderful.
Yeah, baby.
The Kimber 1911 two-tone. You can either, which the two-tone is, you can either chamber it with 45 ACP or 9mm Luger. So that's a kind of a dual-use type gun.
It's a non-racist gun. It'll accept anything.
There you go. It's also kind of a whore. Yeah. Load it with whatever you want.
All right.
So
whore gun. And
finally, you can also get the Taurus.
Oh, no, not a Taurus.
What is that, a Taurus Raging Hunter pistol? There you go.
That looks wrong.
357 or 444 Magnum loader there. So
okay. So that's where you can do money?
Yeah, you can put 14. The funny thing is that when the first stimulus came in, the 1,200 from last year, about half of that went to a new gun for me. So,
oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was fun. I've never bought a gun before, and it was pretty cool.
Well, you really didn't buy it. You just, that one guy left it in the car, and you just saw it.
I just saw it and
took it.
Maybe left $600 on his dash and be like, "Hey, thanks for the gun, dude. Here's something for your troubles." So yeah. Getting to some interesting news of this past week that we missed. How about this? A Peachtree City man claims a bitter feud over a final paycheck ended with around 500 pounds of pennies delivered to his driveway.
Nice.
Apparently, when this guy submitted his 2-week notice in writing, hell hath no fury, like his frustrated boss. So his boss got frustrated with him and dumped his final paycheck, all in pennies,
on his driveway. That's awesome. What if you don't have a driveway? What was he going to do then?
I don't know. Front porch.
Not 500 pounds.
Car. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? I guess Chad Prather's got some competition coming up for his run for Texas governor. Matthew McConaughey says he is seriously considering a run for Texas governor.
No.
How about that? So
no.
He says he's thinking it over and may be one he wants to do with this next chapter of his life. And so, of course, Governor Greg Abbott is up for
drive around in another Lincoln. Isn't that what he does now?
I guess. But apparently,
and attends Texas Longhorn football games. That's about all he does.
Yep. But yeah, so of course, re-election coming up in 2022. So it could be Abbott versus Prather versus McConaughey.
You know what I think, though?
What? What do you think?
Is that Prather,
please tell me. What do you think?
I'm thinking.
We are dying to know your opinion.
Nah, never mind. I'm saying Prather. All he has to do when Abbott goes for the debate is he'll walk over to Abbott, push his wheelchair off the stage, boom, I win the debate.
That sounds a little diabolical, but okay. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You shouldn't be governing with a handicap.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Yeah. So
Take your advantage when you can get it.
this is pretty funny. Police are investigating stolen car parts in Washington. Were able to close a different case when they found a 400-pound slide that had been stolen from a playground. The Pasco Police Department said last month that officials found the missing slide mounted to a bunk bed in a child's room in Burbank, Washington.
Awesome.
And police had search warrants to look for the stolen catalytic converters, which are part of a vehicle's exhaust system. But during the search, they recognized the slide as one that had been stolen from a Pasco City Park in December, even though it had been cut off and it was painted blue. And so the City Parks Department has, of course, recovered the slide. But yeah, apparently, child wanted to take it home. This particular slide. I think it's pretty cool that you have ambitions to get your own slide. You're very quiet over there.
Yeah, that wasn't interesting.
Whatever. Anyways, Colorado man accused of disrupting. This was one you'll pretty much find pretty good. So
Colorado man. There's got to be some weed involved in this one.
He was accused of disrupting an Alaska Airlines flight from Seattle to Denver by refusing to wear a mask. Wait for it. And then standing up and urinating in the cabin. And he faces federal charges of interfering with a flight crew and attendants that carry a maximum of 20 years in prison and a possible $250,000 fine.
That's nothing. Get a guy that walks into the cockpit and pees on the back of the pilot's head. Now that's a skill.
Yeah, that's a skill, all right.
That's right. So. Hit the instruments along the way, yeah. Short it out.
So, yeah, apparently the affidavit by FBI Special Agent Martin Daniel, I don't know why, the third. He's got to add in the third.
So there's
there.
3 guys there.
So there's 3 guys of his insecure self who interviewed Greer, and crew members say the guy Greer appeared to be trying to sleep, but swatted an attendant when she asked him repeatedly to put on a mask, as required by the FAA. Which, I mean, whatever. And of course, a passenger later summoned attendants because Greer was urinating in his seat area because he was being told to stop.
That sounds like a guy that Can-Equip girl used to date.
Oh, really? Is that right? Yeah. She kind of scoffed at you. I didn't see that.
I think I knew him, too.
Yeah.
Urinating in his seat area. Yeah.
How dare you tell me to wear a mask?
That's right. The compliance muzzle.
The compliance muzzle, yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently this mother is either stuck in her high school ways or thinks her daughter is completely all that and the perfect thing in the world. I'm going to go for the latter. But apparently a mother and daughter in Pensacola, Florida, have been accused of rigging a high school homecoming court election by accessing accounts without authorization.
That sounds stupid.
They were arrested and booked in the Escambia County Jail with a bond of $8,500. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement said in a news release that her 17-year-old daughter was taken into custody as well and transferred to the juvenile detention center there in Escambia County. And so, yeah, apparently that the assistant principal at the elementary school and her daughter, a student at Tate High School, was used Carroll's district-level access to enter accounts where hundreds of fraudulent votes were cast for the Taft homecoming court. The votes were flagged as fraudulent when 117 votes allegedly originated from the same IP address within a short period of time. So they pretty much pulled a Biden, a Biden election type thing. They're like, oh, we're just going to throw a bunch of these votes in here.
You know what?
And they're all from the same place.
You know what would be a good weekend?
What?
Grab the 50 cal. Go about...
He's inciting violence again.
100 yards inside Texas.
Yep, he's going to incite violence.
And then when they come across the border, just like kick up the dirt in front of them. You know, there may be some stray rounds that actually hit people, but, that's the risk you take when you're firing firearms.
Inciting violence. There you go. We're going to incite some more violence. And we're canceled. Yeah.
Awesome.
Did you hear about this woman who...
No, I didn't hear about her.
I didn't even get to the freaking story, you dipshit. Okay, so apparently this woman entered a Galveston, Texas bank without wearing a mask and she was eventually taken down by the police and arrested in that bank because she wasn't wearing a mask.
All she wanted to do is exchange that 20 for 2 10s.
Sure.
That's what I'm betting.
No. Well,
give it to the grandkids.
Apparently, the bank had said that you have got to. You're not going to be doing business in here without wearing a mask.
Mask Nazis.
So she apparently was like, "No, I'm still going to do business here." Police were called, and taken down. Well, guess what?
What? She sued him.
Well, after she was arrested and released last week. Just yesterday, she was arrested again in a different Galveston business for, guess what, not wearing
Now,
a
wait
mask.
wait a minute. Didn't Texas open up?
Well, that's the state of Texas, but Galveston has their own little rules, apparently.
Liberals.
Well, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking it is. Didn't Garden City get rid of its mask mandate a couple days ago?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Something like that.
That's right.
So, but yeah,
So, no
arrested again in a different business while in Galveston.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Well, that's why we don't go to Galveston.
Yeah, apparently not.
Mm-hmm. But
except you're the person that says, "Oh, I want to go to Galveston and retire there."
No, not Galveston.
Yeah, you said Galveston.
No, I'm thinking Green, Texas.
Yeah, it's not a good place to retire.
Now that there's targets south of Green, Texas, I may
targets.
Targets of opportunity. People coming across the border. Targets of opportunity.
Inciting some more violence, I see.
Well, duh. Oh. You know what? I was trained by the Air Force to shoot to kill. So,
yeah, that only applies.
I haven't been able to use that skill
in the
a while.
Air Force.
I'm saying
only applies in the Air Force. Yeah.
There was a sign that said "use of deadly force authorized." It's
at
still
the Air Force Base.
It's still embedded in my brain. I can see those words in red. I say it's
only
good. It's
only at the Air Force Base.
No,
only.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. No. Yeah.
Come on.
Stop contradicting yourself, man.
It's all right.
Did you hear about that announcer in Oklahoma City who, in war for Norman, that girls' basketball team that all kneeled and then he used a racial slur on them?
Awesome.
Awesome?
Well, didn't we talk about that at Blazing Saddles last week?
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, yeah, apparently this...
Sorry about that. Up yours.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the term he used was... Yeah. So.
The sorry up yours?
No, well, I mean... the slur that comes after that.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, apparently he had uttered hate speech toward the Norman High School girls basketball team ahead of their matchup against Midwest City during playoff play.
Uh-huh.
And they were heard on a live microphone, not over the live broadcast, but apparently he left his microphone on and didn't follow the one rule of broadcasting, assuming the mic is always on. But Snipes, it doesn't care about Snipes because he'll just stop whatever
I want,
even though there is a hot mic.
Mm-hmm.
So, but apparently the Oklahoma State, their high school activities association apparently cut all ties with him. So they're like, "Yeah, we don't want you
up
around
here in Kansas."
I guess so. No, he'll
Keisha.
Keisha's an even bigger joke than it is down in Oklahoma. I can guarantee you that. Keisha's bull crap.
What is Oklahoma's OSHA?
OSA or something like that. Yeah, Oklahoma State Schools.
Isn't that a
Activities
government
Association.
entity?
No.
OSHA is too. It's a government safety entity or something like that.
No, not. Oh God, Christ. OSSAA.
Where's Christ?
Oklahoma State School Activities Association.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the Alabama Republican Party have to do with it?
That's the next story I was getting to. Thank you very much. All right. Good grief.
That's why you always try to tell the jokes of the next comedian coming up. Tell all his best jokes. So by the time he gets there, you've canceled him out.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I think I'll just go away now. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good grief.
Oh, by the way, breaking news. Wichita State's still leading, only by a little bit.
Oh, and the NCAA tournament. We'll get to all that here in just a little bit, but yeah, apparently the Alabama Republican Party. We don't need to know we don't need to hear your crap from the Hill.
Clicked on
all right, so I did not click on it. It started playing on its own. Like I said, that was what happened last week. It was so stupid. Anyways, Alabama Republican Party to gift Trump with the resolution acknowledging him as one of the greatest presidents. By the way,
the greatest.
Yeah, they'll honor former President Trump being one of the greatest and most effective presidents in the 245 year of the Republic. They held a reception at Mar-a-Lago, and President Trump with a framed resolution.
So when I'm down in South Texas, all I got to do is wear my Trump shirt.
Something like that.
Then they'll know not to mess with Trump because all that dirt got kicked up on that.
Good grief. You're making no sense over there.
Well, when has that ever been?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just stating the fact. You're not really making any sense over there.
That's right. I never do.
Yep. So apparently, Double Shot Coffee Company in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Double Shot?
Yeah, Double Shot Coffee Company. Apparently are being called out about their Native American symbols used on their bathroom doors because. Yeah,
what, one feather or two feather? What?
Yeah, the one feather headdress for the women, and then of course the full headdress of the men's.
Yeah,
because cancel culture. That's why. They said the owners used depictions of Native Americans to identify the men's and women's restrooms. Protesters said the depictions are insensitive and offensive in any part of the local tribe culture.
Well, you heard about cancel culture trying to get rid of all the nude beaches around because.
You would think that would be...
Well, it depicts liberals in a bad light because they're all horribly looking. And those that are disrobed don't look like the models that you think they look like. And found out they were all liberal anyway, so they want to get rid of nude beaches. So
yeah, exactly. So apparently he said that Brian Franklin, the owner of Double Shot, said he'd heard about the group's frustrations from someone who saw it online. He said he'd have explained the depictions to anyone who had concerns, but now he feels like he's being bullied to hide his heritage, like his third great-grandfather who was Eastern Cherokee. So apparently Double Shot had that... no.
Go to hell.
No. So, yeah. It's... buried in his heritage is the reason why he has those bathroom signs. So
buried, like underground,
ancient burial grounds.
Yeah, ancient burial. Oh, I like that. Good.
See,
yeah,
that's cool. Well, I was going to mention this, but it's whatever. Apparently, Pat McAfee really doesn't like ESPN, and I'm like,
I heard about that.
And Colin Cowherd's like, yeah.
Yeah, because
Colin Cowherd got booted from the network some odd time ago, and so he had to...
Yeah, the employees basically... or ESPN told its employees that they could not go on to the Pat McAfee show. Because it's competing. They said it's competing. Well, Pat McAfee has a small listenership.
Yeah.
Compared to what ESPN has. But it just proves to how paranoid ESPN is to other sports mediums.
Well, it's because their viewership has gone down.
Oh, it's gone to
by
the tank.
70% over the past.
Well, it's because they're part of that woke culture.
Yeah. All they like to do is talk politics and culture, and that it's not about sports anymore with ESPN. Never has been, never will be. So, or at least not ever again. So,
breaking news.
What?
Drake is ahead.
Okay, yeah, I got that. Well, once again, we'll get to that in a minute, Mr. Breaking News. That's not really breaking.
I'm breaking it.
Whatever. Yeah, this is not live, remember?
Oh, it's Memorex.
Yeah, so anyways, 21 states apparently are now suing President Biden over his cancellation of the Keystone XL pipeline.
Sure.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen are leading the charge.
Knudsen?
Knudsen.
No, okay.
Argued in the complaint that Congress, not Biden, has the authority to change the policy.
Yeah.
So it's another wonderful example of government overreach. Canceling the XL pipeline. So
That's kind of funny. Biden overreach. Kind of fits with Biden.
And apparently they're joined by the attorney generals of Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Georgia, Kansas, Kentucky, Indiana, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Utah, West Virginia, and Wyoming. So,
Did you see gas was at $2.69 today?
yeah, well, yeah. Thanks.
Ouch.
Thanks, yeah. I remember when...
Gus likes it.
Well, that's the thing is that, yeah, Gus does like it. Gus is in the house, by the way. Yeah. Haven't seen him in a long time.
Holly
is with him as well. And
Kevin.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I was going to say, I remember when gas was, or...
I remember when gas was 15 cents.
No,
Is that what
I
you're
don't.
going to say? Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't, because I wasn't alive back then. Well, I remember when $20 filled up my gas tank.
No.
I'm dead serious. $20.
I remember when $6 filled up my gas tank.
Well, yeah. No, I'm talking about in recent times. Literally, at this point in time last year, $20 would have filled up my gas tank.
Well,
And now it's at least triple that.
thank you, Joe Biden.
Thanks, President Biden, for not drilling in the United States.
Well, now, wait a minute. It's not President Biden. It's Presidential Camel Toe and Sleepy Joe.
Sure.
Because he, in a press thingy today,
Thingy?
said, yeah. where-
That's the official term, by the way.
well, right, because it's not really a conference with him because there's no questions being asked.
Right.
So, but he mistakenly said that President Harris and I's administration. That's what he said. So,
Oh, boy. Yeah. Thanks
so
for...
we knew that he wasn't pulling the string.
Anyways, yeah, thanks for buying oil overseas and not drilling here.
Yeah.
And making gas cheaper.
Yeah.
And finally, our beloved
Esteemed
governor here in Kansas is not happy with a particular bill that passed through the Kansas Senate. By the way, voted 24-10 to pass a bill that bans transgender athletes in girls and women's school sports. And, of course, now the proposal goes to the House. So, first of all, I think good on the Kansas Senate for doing such, and I'm sure it'll go past the House, no big deal. But, yeah, apparently Governor Laura Kelly said that on the proposed ban on transgender athletes in girls and women's sports, she labeled as regressive. To which I said, no, Governor, you're regressive. I'm sorry, I don't get the point of transgender athletes being in girls' sports. Like, what's the big deal? You sucked at guy sports, so now you have to be in a girl sports to be better? I mean,
Yeah. You know what I think?
It's obvious that. I mean, I'm not saying this to be sexist because it's fact. Honestly,
I say
There
I'm going to be
is-
in women's skeet shooting.
yeah, no, not such a thing. But anyways, the thing is that women are
Cute.
in overall physicality weaker than men. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm not sexist. This is a fact, folks. If you don't know this, then you're not clued in. But the fact of the matter is that we don't. Did you even hear about that one? I guess sprinter that was competing in like
Views expressed by.
the sprinter. You know what? I should be saying the same thing about you, Snipes. Shut up. So, anyways. Did you hear about that sprinter? He competed in an event about 300 people, 300 men. He placed 180th. He gets a sex change and becomes a quote unquote woman, and then he's a champion. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? Like, first of all, I don't care if women want to get involved in men's sports. That's fine. Go for it. Play football, play baseball. I know there are women that want to play baseball because they want to get a future into baseball.
Right.
Wonderful. Go for it. I applaud you. But the fact that you want to get yourself the transgender girls want to be that want to get into women's sports just because they want to become good, and then they break every state and team record known to man is bullshit. And I can't stand the fact of it.
You okay?
And the fact that shut up. And the fact that Governor Kelly is going to go on and say that this is quote unquote regressive. I'm sorry, no, this is not regressive. This is by far the best thing that could possibly happen in especially high school sports, because I don't want a transgender. Well, I'm just going to say a guy that is quote unquote a girl
competing in women's sports,
women's sports, and to become the best ever at it, or best in the state, best on the team at it, but is still biologically and supporting the advantages of the physicality of a man.
Okay,
so why?
Speaking of sports, I came up with an idea. The greatest sport is an Olympic sport, and it's where you do that skiing and shooting, because you could win that real easy, because all you have to do is shoot your opponents while you're in the sport, and then you make it winner, chicken dinner. It's not so much that I ski fast, it's the fact that I can outshoot you, right? So what happens when it comes when a guy is doing the women thingy, because I watched women's downhill yesterday in Switzerland or something like that, and surely there had to be one guy in there and what he did was wipe out after like 3 slaloms. He was like, boom, he was done. He was down on the hill. So that was the only guy that was. Well, that's right. So, in this case, the one guy that was competing in the women's downhill, and he wipes out. So, yeah, I think that's great. Go for it. So it's going to come up in the Olympic sports next year. In
I
China.
suppose.
In China, yeah. You can see it happening. Russia will finally, be ahead because all their women are testosterone filled. So, right. So all the men doing the women's sports,
Yeah.
they actually have a chance to win now.
And the thing is, it's not about being inclusive. It's the fact of being in the sport to which your physicality is. I mean, if you want to, if you're a woman, or if you're transgender, if you're a man, that's a bag to deal with.
Yeah.
But the fact that there are athletes out there that are purposefully changing genders to become better in a women's sport, that is crap.
Oh, okay.
That's absolute crap.
All right.
Like the sprinter, and of course the transgender girl that actually was a terrible wrestler, and he got into women's wrestling and became a state champion. That's bullshit. Like, deal with as you wish for being a transgender, but if you're going to actively do this, change your sex just to become good at a women's sport,
like Colin did,
something like that. He gave you the bird, properly.
Right, properly.
Was
that a bluebird?
I think that was probably the most passive aggressive thing you could have done. You should have just kicked him in the balls. I think instead a bird was just not enough for him.
Deborah,
she's not listening to you.
When you get a chance, I need a refill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, she doesn't answer to Deborah.
She doesn't answer to Deborah.
Yeah.
Colin doesn't answer to Colin. It's Clarissa. Right?
Please, just go kick him in the balls.
Come on.
It's just, you're thinking about it. I know you are. So,
well, if you're going to come back here and do that, bring beer with you because I'm thirsty.
Oh, you shoot him in the balls. Okay. All right.
Wait, you're not allowed to have a gun. You're not a U.S. citizen. And besides, you guys lost the Revolutionary War. You know nothing about camouflage.
He's still on that joke. The fact of the matter is that he has no originality. So.
I don't have to work. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I can do it this way.
Anyways, NCAA tournament
Oh, thank God.
getting underway. Yeah, apparently that was the boring part, and Snipes hates that. So
Yeah. We got to have fun.
I'm gonna
The whole
go-
podcast is supposed to have fun.
yeah. So anyways,
Drake is up. I show 49-47. Is that right?
okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, the
152.
first four is going to be is underway, of course, on the night we're recording this, Thursday the 18th. By the time you're listening to this, the first round will have already gotten underway. Of course, those that are wondering. KU, of course, plays on Saturday. That'll be Saturday at 12:15 on TBS. Let's see here. Texas Tech plays tomorrow at 12:45. Your great Loyola Chicago also plays at plays at 3:00 on TBS
All
tomorrow.
right. Sister Jean.
Yeah.
That's right.
101
years of praying. She's back in it.
There you go. And so Wichita State or Drake will be playing USC. That is University of Southern California
Well,
at
as of right
3:30 on Saturday. On what was that? TNT. And so, yeah, as of right now, we'll see what happens in the first four. Right now, I believe Texas Southern, did they win?
Yes, they
Texas Southern. So they will go on to face
I got a
Michigan, number 1 Michigan, at 2:00 on CBS on Saturday.
I got a question for you. How many venues in the city of Indianapolis are used for the tournament? I know it's a minimum of 4. Is that right?
I believe so. I
don't know how many other venues are going on. So
The Indiana Farmers Coliseum, the Lucas Oil Stadium, of course.
right.
I don't know if any of these others
Is the
are.
Farmers Coliseum like in a wheat field, or is it just
You know what? It makes
asking-
sense.
asking for a friend?
It makes sense, So, yeah.
I don't have very many friends, but that one friend was asking.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So,
so-
can equip girl. The answer's coming soon.
So what? Did you say you have Loyola Chicago playing KU in the national
Oh yeah,
championship?
baby, Cinderella team.
That is.
Sister Jean in her wheelchair is a.
Well, Loyola Chicago's ranked is an 8th seed, so I wouldn't
know.
necessarily call it Cinderella.
Well, it's over everybody. Have you seen their bracket? They're going to have to who they got to go through.
Personally, I would say Texas Southern would be the Cinderella
Oh, well.
team. So, yeah. Or Appalachian State, who plays later tonight against, or plays actually not too far from right now. Actually, they're just about to tip off against Norfolk State.
Okay. I show 33 seconds, and it's 51-47 Drake.
51-47 Drake. 33 seconds? You said?
Yes.
Wow. It's going to come down the wire. My bracket will be completely busted if Wichita State does not win.
Well, same with me. I
So-
put Wichita State and KU were going to play in that game 2 weeks.
Yeah, in a couple weeks.
Oh,
in
and
the
another
second
thing
round.
too, because of this screwed up schedule, that with the screwed up schedule, there's a game on Monday night.
Is it really?
Yes,
Yeah, you're right.
See?
In the second round, there's going to be a game on Monday, March 22nd.
right, because of the limited venues. So
And then the Elite Eight begin on Monday, March 29th,
Right.
a week later.
yeah,
And then, of course, National Championship's always been on Monday night, but yeah, Monday, April 5th, a week after that, will be the National Championship. So, yeah, a weird schedule.
right.
Isn't it usually, no, this would be
Who
the
do you
week
got in the bracket?
start, but Can't Quit Girl? No? Oh, you don't
She doesn't
watch?
watch it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm disappointed. My image of you just.
What the heck? And she's like, oh, well.
Oh well. I'm going to tell you what I think.
Yeah. I'll tell you what you think.
Well, she mentioned she liked airplanes, and I was like, "Oh, at least right. At least she's
She
got
likes
some."
airplanes.
And then all of a sudden, the NCAA tournament comes
She's
up,
like,
and crickets and crickets.
Basketball.
Yeah,
Pinball? Oh, pumpkin ball.
pumpkin ball.
Oh, there you go.
See, and I always thought there would be a new basketball league out there, but you dribble with a football.
That'd be tough.
Turnover status. I mean, there's going to be 60, 70 turnovers in a game.
Obviously, because footballs are not meant to be bounced.
See?
They're meant to be thrown. They're meant to be kicked.
That's right. And then I also, we talked about this before. I always thought there would be a good football league where you put randomly placed mines on the field. Yeah. And so if a guy's running for a touchdown, all of a sudden, boom, oh, it's a fumble. He didn't make it. And then, see?
Ireland.
Yeah. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then to leave the hurt player still on the field as another obstacle, you got to go
dead.
around. So
Dead
player. Well,
mines,
some of them just may have a leg blown off.
Mines, would most likely kill you. Yeah.
Come on, let's make this exciting.
First of all, no.
Well, the NFL has gotten
happen.
so watered down. I'm thinking, it used to be you could rip a guy's head off and it was okay.
Well, exactly. That's the reason why this won't happen.
Well, it may happen. Like that guy said, it may happen in Ireland. Let's do it in Ireland. Let's start an Irish league where we put randomly placed mines on the field. And not only that, but the referees can't tell where the mines are. So they could be running down the field and get, boom, oh, got a new ref. All right.
And to have like 30, 40 refs on hand.
That's right. Right. Just pay their family's life insurance. That's good.
Speaking of football, NFL free agency is getting well underway, and holy crap.
Everybody's on a one-year deal because they don't know what the salary cap's going to be next year.
Well, most free agencies are like that, but at the same, especially older players. But at the same time, speaking of older players, before we get into the team or players switching teams, of course, Drew Brees did retire from the Saints after 20 seasons, and I heard this yesterday, because I'm a bowling junkie, and just because I want to talk about bowling for a second. The PBA Tour also retired a player. The bad boy of bowling, 38 career titles, 10 career majors. Pete Weber has retired from the PBA Tour.
Oh, thank God!
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, stupid sunglasses when you're bowling. You don't bowl with sunglasses on.
He doesn't do that anymore, but
no.
He did that because it was just part of his look.
Did he retire or did he get horizontal? He retired, right?
Retired, yes.
Oh, okay, so he's not horizontal.
No, he retired from the PBA Tour. He will be bowling on senior tours, of course, the 50 and 60 Tour, but he's decided that the PBA Tour, the regular tour, is just too young for him.
Okay.
However, Norm Duke, Walter Ray, they're still trucking. They're still trucking on the PBA Tour. Walter Ray did, in fact, I want to say he finished 13th in the World Championship this year.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Walter Ray, all 7'6" of him, and
he's not that tall.
Norm Duke, all 3'1" of him.
It's kind of like a Mutt and Jeff type thing, you know.
That's right.
Norm Duke and Walter Ray. Yeah.
I still remember taking that picture of you and Norm Duke standing next to each other.
Oh, when I was the World Championship
in 08. It was funny
because
Norm Duke looked like Jacob's kid.
He was a tiny dude. Holy crap.
Just a tiny kid.
And back when I was in it was 08. That was been my freshman year, sophomore year in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, I want to say I was like 6'2", 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
So I was a tall for a sophomore, but at the same time, yeah, he was still 4'11", soaking wet. So
yeah, and he was we had to bother him because he was buying like a carton of cigarettes so he could go stand outside and smoke them. So
he ended up winning the national championship that year, by the way. So
yeah,
that's right. It was fun.
Yeah, we watched it live on ESPN. We were there live, and it was on the ESPN.
That's what we need. We need to bring.
That's where we were waving at the camera. Yeah,
yeah. By the way, that show is on YouTube, and you can see. You can see a 16-year-old me next to would have been probably 47, 46-year-old Snipes.
Me? Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that one blonde lady that kept dancing with her shoulders.
Yeah.
I didn't like her.
She was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyway, go check that out. But, yeah, Pete Weber officially is retired from the PBA Tour.
And under
NFL free agency. We're going to go through all of them here.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah.
Your Texans are screwed. Let's just say that.
The Texans are just...
They're like, there's nobody left on the team. And the only player that they do have on the team has now got sexual assault allegations on him.
And we will get to that here in just a little bit. Okay. Anyways, Buffalo Bills... First of all, Buffalo Bills went out and got Mitch Trubisky from the Bears, signing a A 1-year contract worth $2.5 million.
And he
pretty
said
cheap.
he's going to start.
That's
what he said.
no way. No way. There's no way. When you're Josh Allen and you take a team to the AFC Championship game, you don't generally lose your spot to somebody who can barely win 10 games in one season. Emmanuel Sanders agreeing to a 1-year contract as well. Matt Hawk, their punter, also.
Oh, he was a punter. That's not a real football player.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
Took a 1-year, $5 million contract.
Dolphins.
For the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. Will Fuller just signed a $10 million 1-year contract.
He lost
also.
him.
Yeah. The Patriots, of course, Cam Newton re-signing a 1-year deal, which I think is bullshit. I mean, you're 4-win Patriots. You're freaking 4-win Cam Newton, and you decide to hire him back because we can make stuff happen.
Wichita State went down.
Wichita State has officially lost 53-52 against Drake, so my bracket is officially busted. Nelson Aguilar, of course, been signing. Patriots have been very, very active here in free agency. Kendrick Bourne signing a 3-year deal. Hunter Henry a 3-year deal. Jonnu Smith a 4-year deal. That's just their offense. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Mm-hmm. So they're putting up some weapons for Cam Newton, so we'll see what happens. They're wanting to go in on Cam. So Cam Newton does not succeed this year. They're probably going to say, well, it's probably on Cam Newton.
I think with the way, because they've never done this, usually in free agency they're pretty quiet. I think they're running scared after what the Bills did.
Probably.
So I think they're kind of freaking out.
Well, they also signed 2 key linebacker free agents, Matt Judon from the Ravens. He agreed to a 4-year deal, and they got Kyle Van Noy back from the Dolphins, who signed a 2-year deal. And also they picked up Jalen Mills. Wasn't they from the Jaguars or something like that?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jalen Mills, 4-year deal. And, of course, they re-upped Nick Folk for 1 more year as well for being a kicker. Nothing much for the Jets. I mean, they signed... Oh, they did sign Corey Davis. Okay, 3-year deal, wide receiver.
I say Darnold will probably be gone.
He probably will be.
And Alex Smith will probably be the starting quarterback. That's just a guess. Yeah.
Baltimore.
He's got that bionic leg now.
Yeah. Baltimore re-upped their 2 key defensive linemen, Pernell McPhee and Derek Wolfe. They re-signed them. Pernell McPhee resigned to a 1-year deal. Derek Wolfe
I thought
to a
Derek
3-year.
Wolfe went somewhere else.
Yeah, okay. No, he re-signed with the team. Brandon Allen, the trusty backup quarterback at Cincinnati, he's resigned to a 1-year deal. Awuzie, the quarterback for Bengals, also signed a 3-year deal. That happened earlier this week. For the Cleveland Browns, not much. They did sign Troy Hill for a $24 million 4-year deal. Raymond McLeod for Pittsburgh re-signed to a 1-year deal. Tyrod Taylor got signed to the Houston Texans, which is funny because
now he may be the starter because Watson could be in jail.
That's true. Yeah, Deshaun Watson apparently with some sexual assault allegations against 3 masseuses.
4, I thought now.
Masseuses at whatever spa he went to, and I guess forced one of them.
It really wasn't a spa if he was doing that.
Well, forced one of them.
Oh, that's right.
To perform oral sex on him. So that was quite the thing. So
I never understood that. How do you force someone? Because all she has to do is bite down. There'll be no force.
Ask him. I wouldn't freaking know the information on that one. So sorry, I wasn't in the press release. Mark Ingram, of course, signed a 1-year deal with the Texans, as well as Andre Roberts, wide receiver. Shaq Lawson, they acquired in a trade with the Miami Dolphins in exchange for a draft pick and Bernard McKinney. They've been fairly active. Terrence Mitchell, the former Chief, signed a 2-year deal with him. Desmond King signed a 1-year.
He must not have been very good because I don't remember his name.
Terrence Mitchell? No.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack re-signed a 1-year deal with Indianapolis Colts. And, of course, Carson Wentz, that's the big deal with Indianapolis. getting Carson Wentz in a trade, 3rd-round pick, 2nd-round pick in the 2022 draft.
Yeah. Oh, and breaking news, Colin. Chiefs have re-signed Mike Remmers.
Yeah, that was a few hours ago. Mike Remmers did re-sign with the Chiefs. Carlos Hyde re-signed with Jacksonville. Philip Dorsett, Marvin Jones they also got. A couple of others here. Now, Danico Autry, the defensive end for Tennessee, did sign a 3-year deal. And also Tennessee got Bud Dupree from Pittsburgh, signing a 5-year deal after getting hurt last season.
That's a good pickup.
Yeah, very good pickup.
Yeah, they won't do anything.
Denver put the franchise tag on Justin Simmons. They signed Mike Boone, running back, for a 2-year deal, while subsequently releasing Philip Lindsay.
Yeah.
Which,
well, with all that hair, it wouldn't fit in the helmet, so they got rid of him.
Yeah, whatever. It was not a good move. Of course, Chiefs have been beefing up their offensive line. Like we said, re-signed Mike Remmers, and then, of course, picked up Kyle Long, signed him a 1-year deal, the former Bear, coming out of retirement to sign with the Chiefs. And then they also got Joe Tooney from the Patriots, signing a 5-year deal worth $80 million. So
Andrew Wiley re-signed also for 1-year deal.
So they're just trying to get the offensive line back to one piece. Taco Charlton also re-signed to a 1-year deal, as well as Blake Bell re-signing with the Chiefs after taking a year to go to Dallas.
Damian Williams is gone.
Damian Williams is also gone. Once again, a weird day
you
there.
Take the year off for COVID, you no longer enjoy the team.
Guess not. Kenyon Drakes did sign a 2-year deal with the Raiders, as well as Theo Riddick, so they got a couple of good running backs on their roster there. Zay Jones, a wide receiver, expected to re-sign as well. Richie Incognito on their offensive line re-signed a 1-year deal. Yannick Ngakoue signed a 2-year deal with the Raiders as well. And, of course, the Chargers lost Hunter Henry with the Patriots, so he signed a 1-year deal was signed to Jerri Cook.
And that's a good thing for us anyway.
Yeah, for the Chiefs at least. So, heading off into the NFC, of course, Dak Prescott signing the big 4-year, $160 million deal, like we covered last week. Let's see here. Mike Glennon signing a deal with undisclosed terms for the Giants. I don't know why. They got a questionable quarterback situation, especially when you sign Mike Glennon.
Yeah, that just sounds like wrong.
Daniel Jones, Mike Glennon. Yeah, you got a solidified team, I tell you what. Devontae Booker agreed to a 2-year deal. John Ross as well. Kyle Rudolph signed with the Giants, a 2-year deal as well.
And you know who Kyle Rudolph is, right? He was the tight end with the Vikings.
Vikings, right.
And then he also has that thing that goes on during Christmas where he's like the lead, deer.
So he is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick signed a 1-year deal with Washington, the Washington football team.
It's the Redskins.
And Lamar Miller as well, we're signing a deal. Curtis Samuel, they picked up for a 3-year deal, so they got some pieces around there. The Bears released Mitchell Trubisky, like we said, went to the Bills and signed Andy Dalton to a 1-year deal. The quarterback situation there is going to be Andy Dalton versus Nick Foles. So, who's to say?
That's just you could throw in Mike Glenn in there and have a trifecta.
Well, Mike Glenn used to be a Bear, but
right?
Yeah, it'd be a trifecta of mediocrity.
Did you talk about the Texans losing Carlos Watkins too?
Who's Carlos Watkins?
Defensive lineman?
No.
Oh. See, I tell you, Texans do not have a team. I think they're going to build through the draft. That's the only thing.
Who the hell is
left.
Carlos Watkins?
He was a defensive lineman.
Well, okay, yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm just reading.
Is that it?
Yeah. They were a team of nobodies anyway once they got rid of, what was his name?
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like the Cardinals are beefing up, though.
Allen Robinson, Carlos Santos re-signed with the Bears as well. Of course, the quarterback-to-quarterback trade with the Los Angeles, so Jared Goff gets sent off to Detroit for Matthew Stafford. Jamal Williams signed a 2-year deal, as well as Brashad Perryman signing a 1-year deal, and Tyrell Williams a 1-year deal.
Am I the only one that's not shocked that Juju Smith-Schuster has not been picked up? Because it sounds like he's just a troublemaker.
He is. He's a hothead and a troublemaker.
I think he should go to the Texans.
Yeah, perfect. They also signed Michael Brockers in a trade with the Rams as well. So for the Lions, so they're going to be interesting. The only team that has made virtually no moves in free agency is the Green Bay Packers, and that's the only thing that I have on them is that they signed a 4-year contract with Aaron Jones.
Right, that was it.
I mean, that's an obvious move. If you're Green Bay, get yourself a good running back or keep yourself a good running back for Aaron Rodgers, but that is the only thing that happened there.
Right. Kansas City has not lost any of their restricted free agents. They've tendered all of them.
Yep.
So that's
Sammy Watkins also a free agent, but it's likely he'll be getting a new deal as well. He'll probably get a 1 or 2 year deal coming up
for Waterboy.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the kid cannot play anymore.
1 year, $10 million contract for Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
For the Vikings as well.
Right.
Falcons didn't do much either. Cam Irving signing with the Carolina Panthers. Denzel Perryman also signing a 2-year deal with the Panthers. Jameis Winston, of course, re-signing on a 1-year deal with the Saints. Alongside running back Ty Montgomery, he re-signed a 1-year deal. So Saints are just going to go ahead and move on from Drew Brees. Yep. It's Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill there.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, Shaquille Barrett, Levante David, Ryan Suckup, they all re-signed with the Buccaneers. So that's what you do when you're a Super Bowl winning team. You re-sign your key pieces.
I didn't know Sucky Suckup was with them.
You didn't?
No,
really?
I still had him somewhere at Tennessee.
No, gosh, he left Tennessee a while ago.
Oh, because Carlos Santos went there?
Carlos Santos with the Bears.
Okay, I knew it was something like that.
Rodney Hudson signed with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to him to try to come back to KC.
Same here. A good centerpiece there for Cardinals as well, signing A.J. Green. So Kyler Murray has officially once again become a very dangerous force for the NFC West. Now he has Larry Fitzgerald, DeAndre Hopkins, and
but Larry's on his last year,
and of course A.J. Green. Yeah, but Larry can still play. He's
going
to be
100 years old.
He's going to be the new Steve Smith. Yeah, he's going to be 50 and still playing.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt, of course, signing a 2-year deal with the Cardinals as well. So Robert Alford, quarterback. So they're putting a good team there in Arizona. I feel the playoffs are in their near future.
Until that first preseason game and Kyler Murray snap. Oh, there goes his knee.
We're hoping that doesn't happen with the Los Angeles Rams because Matthew Stafford, of course, that's their biggest move, is that Matthew Stafford through a trade with Jared Goff. And Leonard Floyd, a 4-year contract there. Kyle Juszczyk re-signed for the 49ers. Trent Williams re-signed as well. They got Alex Mack for a year. And quarterback Jason Verrett staying on a 1-year deal as well for the San Francisco 49ers, but they're still not addressing the elephant in the room, which is their quarterback situation. So,
I thought you meant that you actually had an elephant on the team.
That'd be impressive.
Yeah.
And finally, with the Seattle Seahawks, not much has happened. Of course, they let go one of their key pieces in their secondary. I forget his name. Griffin? No.
Perryman?
Shigeru? I can't remember.
Huh.
But anyways, Gerald Everett, they signed to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, and that's usually with Seattle. Nobody really cares, other than the fact that Russell Wilson is still there, and we found out what the details of what Chicago was offering. 3 number 1 draft picks?
Yeah, for Russell Wilson.
And a 3rd-round draft pick and 2 starters.
Yeah.
They were trying to get all that for Russell Wilson.
They want him bad.
Right. They were going to mortgage everything for Russell Wilson.
I think that's so hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey, when you want your centerpiece for your offense,
and I think Russell still wants out of there. He had talked. Also, Watson, of course, wants out.
Oh,
of the
obviously,
Texans.
Watson does. I don't know if
I
Russell
heard
Wilson.
I heard Watson wanted to be at the Raiders, which would fit, because they're full of team or sexual assault suspects and all the whole team. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
he'd fit right in.
He'd fit right in. Yeah. So NFL free agency is getting really weird. So yeah,
and I think a lot of it is the fact that they thought it would be $198 million, and it dropped it down to $180 million. Which there's no way you can field a team with $180 million. I mean, I couldn't, because I got to talk about my bar tab, and that kind of takes about half of that $180 million,
something like that. Well, that and the fact that Kansas City also had to restructure Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's contracts
Chris
Jones to get these key players, especially Joe Tooney. I know they of course they paid him a pretty penny, $80 million over 5 years, which I mean he's still a very serviceable guy at the offensive line, so he's going to provide great protection.
Right.
Kyle Long, of course, a good veteran as well, and then you throw the other pieces around. I think this is going to be first of all, it's already a better offensive line than last year.
Well, and I think a lot of that restructuring, I think they'll restructure it back after next year's salary cap will probably be about $208 million or something like that.
Probably.
So they can and I think a lot of teams are figuring that out. We have to get rid of all this so we can stay under the cap, and then they're restructuring contracts, and everybody's being signed to 1-year deals because they know next year the cap will go back up. So
yeah, exactly. So, well, I think that'll do it for us here for Uncaged episode number 26. Join us not next week, but the week after for episode number 27. Like we said, we're going to be gone next week with some housekeeping stuff and just a lot going on. So we'll be busy with that. Thanks for joining us here. Of course, we're live here at Loving Spoon every Thursday night at 7. So come check us out live as well if you're in the area. But we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Uncaged. Tune in next week for more. This has been brought to you by Loving's Moon, Tim and Jerry's Auto Sales, Garden Bowl, American Gratitude, Patrick Dugan's Coffee House, and AAA Loans and U-Haul.